What is going on, everybody? Bobby Fied, Eric Tabor. We're going to be talking through this 8-game NBA slate. It's an interesting one. We still have news we're waiting on. It's the first of the now we're calling it the Cup, the NBA Cup, instead of the in-season tournament. I guess we're trying to be a little bit more like soccer, which I think is cool. But yeah, it's an interesting slate. And Sheets, I'm curious to see where you're at with a lot of things. I saw that you updated your projections, and I feel like I agree more with your projections than I do with the ones from Sabersim right now. They make a little more sense, and I'm a little more spread out than I was because I was getting early on in builds, I was getting 90% of 5 guys, and it just felt like something was going wrong. So what are you thinking about this? And yeah,
well, I didn't build anything yet, but it looks as though, just looking at the projections, what I would probably get if I didn't care about ownership would be a ton of Giannis because of all this value that I have above it. And that would be above it when I'm looking. So there's Keaton Wallace, Grayson Allen, and Mike Conley, who are, look like the 3 best values there, approaching 6X. So with all those guys 4,200 and below, not to mention DeAnthony Melton, who I highlighted earlier, and then the Gogo Batazzi, who you mentioned earlier. I mean, you could play Giannis with relative impunity, tonight. Yeah. And then there's other guys a little bit less, little more expensive than those guys. Like Nurkic's 5,800. I like, and then Tyus Jones from Phoenix is 5,400. That's bad. And then another guy who's showing up for me a little more now than he was earlier, somebody that you mentioned at a flat 3K would be Ryan Rollins from Milwaukee. He rates for me to be lower than the other guys, but yet still. 3K is 3K, and then we're at guys to spend up for. Aside from Giannis, you could certainly play Luka, and then mid-range guys. I have Bradley Beal and Steph Curry, and that's and it's so funny. I predicted this earlier that this would happen. That at the beginning of the day, I always have Garrison Matthews rated the number 2 overall dollar play, and somehow he always just drops to 17th by the time I have to build, and that's exactly where he is right now, 17th, as far as my point per dollar. Yeah. What do you like that maybe I didn't go, because I didn't talk about like other Atlanta guys like Dyson Daniels, Jalen Johnson. What's your overall view of everything?
Yeah, I think it's worth it.
I'm running to get coffee, by the way. I'll be right back.
Yeah, do your thing. Atlanta's probably. I'm going to share my screen really quick and just sort of see where I'm at right now. I don't love some of where I am, and I'm going to, it's going to change, but again, it's going to change. It's a slate you're going to be updating every 20 minutes based on news. We don't know who's starting for Phoenix, for example, which is a big piece of news, assuming Ryan Dunn, but doesn't have to be. Could be, you could see Royce O'Neal in there. You could see Grayson Allen starting. Either way, there's still going to be interesting enough plays to take shots on them. This is sort of where I ended up with exposure just for my first runs. Let me make sure I'm still sharing this. Yeah. Or my most recent runs, I should say. And I like most of it. The Nurkic thing of being questionable is something we're just going to have to deal with, and that's going to make Phoenix, even if somehow he's out, you're just going to want to have later games. So what I'm going to try to manually do, and I'm going to do it right here. You can see I'm trying to make sure to get less of the Garrison Matthews and less of some of the early value that's questionable, because let's just say Nurkic is out. Then you have you have to play multiple guys from Phoenix. So I think there's some value in trying to make sure outside of Wallace, and I like Daniels as well, that you try to get to some of that Phoenix Jazz game, just because we don't know. We really don't know who's going to be starting there, and we don't know if Nurkic is playing. So I'm trying to get less of like you see in my build. I had Garrison Matthews. It was up to 20%. I don't really want 20% of Garrison Matthews, but again, I'm okay with I'll keep lowering it to probably to where I get to maybe 5 or 6%. Because I don't mind taking shots there, but I don't think it's something you should do. So that's, I guess, my big take is that try to prioritize the later value above the earlier value, especially in the Phoenix game, and just making sure to have some exposure to basically everyone there. Because if things go and Nurkic is out, I just think that you're going to have so many plays that look incredible. They already do look good. And then on the other side, you have with no Walker Kessler. I like getting to, some John Collins, Markkanen, Clarkson. There's plays I like in the Dallas Golden State game. I like the Clay play. I'm happy to be over on that. So I guess that's my like a little bit of strategy is just trying to be overweight the later games versus the earlier games, especially as it applies to value. And I just realized I didn't see Anthony Edwards enough in my builds, and I do think this is a very good play. So I'm going to make sure I'm at least with the field, but I'm probably going to end up much higher than the field on Edwards. And again, later games just give you more flexibility, especially using the late swap tool from SaberSim on TrueDFS. It's the right way to go, in my opinion. We also, Ayton became questionable late in the day. That's another big piece because Portland is a team that I wasn't getting too much of, but I think I would like to. I know I would want to. And Donovan Clingan is probably going to end up being the best play on the slate if Ayton is out. So I really think that's a huge piece of news, and the fact that it was announced like 40 minutes ago makes me feel like there's a reasonable chance that he's going to be out tonight.
Who?
So I would just try to be overweight all of the later guys, especially the value, like I mentioned. And Clingan's not letting me. I'll rebuild and fix that one, but that's sort of what I was getting to.
Who did you say is likely to be out?
Well, I didn't say. I said you'd think more likely because Ayton was announced now questionable at. Let me see the exact time. Ayton was announced questionable at 4:51 Eastern, and that makes it very, very possible that he is not going to play, in my opinion. So if you're going to think about playing a guy like Clingan anyway, maybe just be a well overweight the Clingan play, and again, you're going to find something to shift to because we don't have a Sun starting lineup. We don't know what. Honestly, the Jazz could even go with a different type of starting lineup. And even if you get stuck, you're not going to end up stuck with like the worst value in the world. Maybe you have to play a Cody Williams or something, or you could just leave Clingan in there. And Clingan is already a reasonable play at 3,100 as it is. You take Ayton out, he's going to look like the best value on the slate. Robert Williams will also look good. So I would like to try to be overweight these later games. I guess that's my big overall take.
Yeah, I'm seeing this here now. Yeah, 4:55 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
The Ayton thing. He's questionable due to a right index finger sprain, which apparently just happened 5 minutes ago, right?
Right. How does that happen in the middle of the day?
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. And he also goes out with weird injuries like as much as anybody else does. But I mean, it is what it is. It's going to be very hard to argue against the Clingan play if he's out. So having that spot still available is probably a good idea. In fact, I'm probably going to do something even more bold and just go like 35%. And then I'll adjust as the slate goes. But what it's going to allow me to do is postpone my value and get to less of the Garrison Matthews type of plays and stuff like that, because I just don't want to waste my value early when there's potential coming up later.
Well, I'm less concerned about wasting the Garrison Matthews plays. I'm worried about wasting a center spot, right?
Sure,
because
that's fair.
If we're waiting on that Clingan thing.
Yeah, and this slate is not the same as some of the other ones in that, like, there's been some slates where I just thought like you had to go double center. I don't feel like you absolutely have to today, but I think you're going to end up with a lot of it anyway, and I think that's totally reasonable.
I mean, Goga gets 30 fantasy points a day. I mean, it looks that way.
I like Goga.
Yeah, I know, but that's a guy you're going to have to not play maybe.
Yeah. Here, I'm going to let you talk for a second, so I got to get this call really quick.
Yeah, you might not be able to play him if you're going to wait for Clingan. But then again, you have two center spots, so I mean, it's not like Pirtle is that big of a lock. I still have this issue with my freaking phone. So weird.
What's that?
Nothing. Just still having issues with this camera. I don't know.
It's coming in and out on your phone.
No. It's weird. It's trying to access my phone.
Oh.
I don't know what's going on. I could just try to disable my phone, but it's so strange. Anyway, okay. Let's do this again. Enable camera. I don't know. Can you hear me at least or no?
Yeah, we can hear you perfect.
All right.
Sounds good. So that's cool.
Leave it like this then. So yeah, what I was going to say is that the only other center. Well, let me ask you this. I didn't know when this news came out, but this is earlier. Kessler's been out all day, pretty much, right?
Yeah. Well, mostly, yeah. After we recorded earlier, every he went out.
Let's see what's this about Nurkic here. This has been since yesterday, right? Stuff angle. He's unable to play. It said Plumlee would get the start.
That would be like the natural thing that you'd assume would happen. And then Plumlee becomes a good play as well. So like not as good a play as what's his name from Portland, Klingon, but still a good play. I think I'm just going to marry myself to mostly these later games. I mean, look, I'm not going to play all the later games, but I just want to be overweight like every single player, just because I think news is going to come in today. I just have a feeling. Let's see where we are at here with Steph Curry. Over the field, over the field, over the field, over the field, under the field. I'm happy to go over on Kuminga. And then Looney, I'm not really getting to, but Looney is actually an interesting pivot if you wanted to get weird with if you had to do something else with Clayton and didn't want to play Clinton for some reason. That's totally reasonable. I'm just taking a look at make sure that I'm over the field on basically everybody in the later games. I think it is going to be. Are you fine? Like for me, it just looks naturally like it's going to end up being a little stars and scrubsy. But there's a lot of mid-range plays that are like. I mean, I guess stars and scrubsy counting guys like Booker and Anthony Edwards. But I just think it makes so much sense to try to delay as much as possible. There's value in things you can't avoid in Atlanta. It's a great spot for Boston. It's a great spot for Orlando, by the way, against Charlotte. But I would be trying to get the majority of my teams to be playing the later if we don't have that information before lock. And at least that's what I'm going to try to do myself. And I'm actually manually doing it right now just to make sure. Conley, I don't really care where I end up. I would like to, just because it's value and we can always switch later. I'll be above the field. I'll be above the field on this DiVincenzo. And I'm not playing the full 150, but I'm playing like 110 tonight, I think is where I'm at.
Ooh, there you go.
So it's the $5. So when it's the $5,
you got to go 111.
Yeah. Oh, I think I might actually have 111. Let me just double check.
Yeah.
I've got a little bit more. I've got 125 actually. But I should have gone 111. If it was yesterday's sheets in honor of 11-11, I would have done it.
Yep.
But it's not. So
you can do 112 if you want.
That's true. Let's see. And I'm just trying to get overweight individually everybody here because I think that it's the right thing to do. And I like the Scoot Henderson contrarian play. He looked, the projections, I knew there was something going on earlier that they were off, but I do like the play. And it's interesting to see. I guess Ayton, they lowered his projection by like 2.5 points. Like what does that mean? I hate when they do that. I wish we could just I don't know what the answer is of what to do, but it is weird to see somebody he might not play, so we're going to drop him down 2.5 points.
The other day was the 15th anniversary of Joe Cotta Day.
Oh, was it really?
It was.
Right. I forgot that was in. I was there. Yeah, it was in November.
Oh, you were there? I didn't know that.
Oh my God! Yeah, we were filming a reality show with him.
Oh, that's right. I saw that. That's right.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Sometime if you guys ever have a chance,
I did see it. I did see it last time you linked it to me.
Oh yeah, it's pretty funny. It was and I wasn't friends with Kat. I was friends with all the other guys. But,
yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty funny. Just how things turned out. And by the way, Milwaukee, we don't know who they're starting for sure. It's not up. They haven't decided that. So there's another one where I would just say just be overweight the later games because there is a lot of things that are going to change between now and then. And I'm kind of hoping the information is actually not before luck. I don't know why Taurean Prince is getting this kind of ownership. Somebody's gonna have to explain it to me.
Taurean Prince.
Yeah, I understand there's no Taurean Prince is Saberson's got him at 16% owned, and I can't figure. I know he had a good game the last time out, but even when Giannis missed a game earlier in the year, no one played him on a 4-gamer, and he had 10 fantasy points. He doesn't have to ever be the guy.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't think I want to do that.
Even my thing's trying to give it to me. I don't really want it, so I'm gonna probably. But he does allow me to make a little bit more late stuff. I'll cap him, but I just want to be a little bit overweight all these games that start at 8 Eastern or later. And I'm probably gonna end up changing and rerunning everything. Obviously, I'm gonna do that in an hour or so. But if we don't have the news, I think that's a smart way to go. So it does make it interesting. You mentioned the center issue. So let's take a look at the centers from the early part of because the Klingon thing would be such a great play. I like Bam a lot. Unfortunately,
how much can you really like him though?
I can against Detroit with no Jimmy Butler too. It's just extra everything. I mean, it's not like he's dudding out there. Like, you know what I mean? He's put up, I don't know. He's basically his last 5 games, he's averaging about 48. He's 8K against in one of the best matchups in basketball. I don't know. I like him. You're right. There's an argument to be made the other way. I'm not going to play Duren tonight, although I like him as a player. Obviously not playing anybody who's center from Charlotte. I'm just taking a look. Orlando Batatse, that's the one I like. I don't think I need to play the Wagner, but if it was a tiny slate, I would suggest Wagner as a pivot off of Batatse. We don't have to worry about that. No playing Capella, not playing anybody from.
What about the Atlanta guy?
Which was that?
The point guard. How much are you going to get of him?
Like 70+% still.
Okay.
65 I've got right now. I'm okay with being like, I don't think it absolutely has to go his way. You know what I mean? It could just be Daniels and those other guys. And this guy has only played more than 20 minutes, one time so far. But it is obviously with Trae Young out, you kind of, you're kind of risking missing out on a 10x play if you don't do it. And I'm not going to change much with that. I'm still going to. Atlanta is the one team on the early part that I'm just going to probably be overweight on, with the exception of, actually not with the exception of anybody really, to be honest with you. I guess Jalen Johnson I don't have very much of, but I kind of want him because I want a little bit of the mini game stack there. This game, if it stays close, is going to have like 250 points. So I want to kind of get a little more exposure there, and I'm going to have to change some of my rules a little bit, but yeah. The other ones are the Knicks. Just like, it's always weird to me when there's a slate where the Knicks aren't getting much ownership. And I like Cat too, but again, we got to leave at least something in the utility. So probably no more than one center for me from these 7:30 games or before. That's the way I'm going to do it. And actually before the 9 Eastern games and before, probably. I guess I got a little podol, but don't love it. I was a little bit surprised that nobody. I know that they've been priced this way, but I thought Toronto would have some guys who actually looked a little more healthy. I still like RJ Barrett as like a large field play. I think he's got like 50+ upside, and I think it's reasonable. Any questions from anybody out there? Come on, guys, drop in some thoughts. I know we're doing a lot more through the Sims, but if there's guys you like, if there's anybody you want to ask about, anybody you want to say that you don't agree with, a way of playing you do agree with, you don't agree with, I'm happy to hear anything.
I'll build if it'll allow me to. If it'll allow me to show my screen.
It allowed you the other day, even when it wasn't showing your face.
Okay, so let's try this then.
I'll give you the.
That's okay. I could just.
Thing.
Where is it? Wait, where was I? Oh, here. So let's share the screen. And again, we'll build an NBA with what we with what we know now. Which isn't. I mean, it's not everything, but it's not bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what am I going to do? So am I going to like scale down the guys in the early games, or should I just kind of run it as normal? I mean,
well, I just overloaded.
Wait. So Emmanuel Quickly might be out. Is that
he is out?
He is out. Okay. I think I had him in my projections. That's the only reason I mentioned it.
Yeah, he was in the original one, but I think your last projection didn't have him. I'm just going to.
Oh, because I probably had him in a dummy lineup. Maybe it's possible.
Yeah. Well, he actually showed up he was actually getting popped by SaberSim earlier. So let's see what that's going to. So this is what. So okay, we're going to build.
Oh, so again, the first thing you're going to want to do, which I didn't do, is download your whatever dummy lineups that you had. Well, the first thing you want to do is make sure your freaking computer is working. This stupid thing with I just need to dedicate freaking 10 minutes to this, and I just don't have it, but I will.
I get it.
Yeah. So I don't think about it until this is going on, and then. So these are the dummy lineups that are in here now. I didn't have them before. All right. Anyway, let's see what we built here. And I am playing 150 because I'm playing that small thing, whatever. I'm playing the full 150, not just 132.51, however many you're playing there. So let's put in 157 lineups in here.
Yeah.
And again, the stupid thing.
Embiid is expected to play 25 to 30 minutes per Nick Nurse, so not getting the full run.
So we're not going to play him.
I don't think so on this slate. I'll probably end up with like one lineup with him. Maybe I won't.
Yeah, I'm gonna X him out.
I like the matchup for him. I wish it was gonna. I wish we were getting 32 to 36.
I'm getting 0 anyway. Okay. Yeah. So it looks like before I run anything, I'm getting. What is this? Oh, so there was also pending news on Caleb Martin. I think.
I haven't.
And Trey Mann, maybe.
Cody Martin.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, Cody Martin and Trey Mann.
Oh yeah, I mean, I guess they're still questionable, but that's before the first game, so I'm guessing we'll have whatever that is.
Right, but I mean, it's something to.
Yeah. But let's see. They did start Salon, Cody Martin, Trey Mann. Yeah, I'm not sure that really does anything for me, to be honest. Maybe Brandon Miller gets a boost. I guess that's what and maybe Josh Green. No, I can't play Josh Green. I just can't do it on this slate. I guess Seth Curry could get hot, but I don't really think I'm going to do that. I'm definitely going to have, just for what's it called sake, I'm going to make sure to, even if I have to hand edit a couple of them, I'm going to make sure to have some Clay and Steph lineups. They're both reasonable plays anyway. Let's see.
So we go into autofill. Yeah, I hate to say this, Bobby. I might have to bail. This is getting too annoying.
Okay. All right, man. I understand. Well, guys, if there's any questions or anything comes up,
we keep trying, but it's just a little annoying. It's all. No. You know, we're gonna try to figure this out right now. So, how do you disable Android virtual camera? Let's do this. Disable Android.
Now we get your face back. It's really strange how it works sometimes, and then it cuts out. It's like,
oh my God.
I do want to say, just while you're doing that, to all the people saying how bad McVay is today, just shut it. Just because it didn't work out for your fantasy lineups the way you wanted to, it's still the right thing to do mathematically. And pretty much every coach in football would have done what he did, except for maybe they would have kicked it sooner. And he's probably the second best, or if not the best, in-game coach, and he's probably like a top 3 coach overall. So seeing, McVay is terrible in our own Discord, I'm like, oh my God, what is the matter with people?
That whole game was a freaking shit show.
It was just horrible. They couldn't punch it in once they got close. They couldn't, for whatever reason, block Miami, which I never occurred to me would be a possibility. That's not a team that's difficult to block. Then there was the weird turnovers, the 3 plays in a row. I don't remember ever seeing that happen, 3 plays in a row. Oh.
Okay, here we go. We're going to do... Oh, so annoying. Yeah, this is turning into bad content. I'm going to get out of here.
Okay, man. All right, have a good one. Good luck, everybody. And guys, I'll be in the Discord. I'll stick around for a minute, but I'll be in the Discord if anybody wants to talk about anything or has any questions or thoughts on the slate. A lot of big tournaments tonight, so I'll update sort of with my projections as we get a little closer to lock. And say good luck to everybody. Hope you guys do have a good night.